I have been a huge fan of the Thundercats since my introduction to them in 1997 on Cartoon Network's Toonami, and I was really excited when I heard that they were remaking when they were remaking this show. Now people like me uh get to relive my childhood, and they get to and it's cool that they can find a new way to introduce it to newer and to today's audiences. And so far so good. This show has exceeded my expectations. I've been enjoying it so far. I'll post a season review once this season concludes. Okay, the Thundercats. Okay, the story is Lionel's father gets betrayed by someone who's supposed to be his friend, who's a part of Panthero's race. Part of Panthero's race. This guy tells him Panthero was killed, but it was all revealed to be a trick. And later on in the hour special, Momura, under the disguise as Panthero himself murders Lionel's father, and then Thundera destructs, and Lionel, Tigra, and Chitara now at his father's request have to take the Sword of Omens, and go on a journey to defeat Momra and prevent him from getting the sword. They manage to get away from the mutants when Jaga, the spirit from the original Thundercats, sacrifices himself. Like I said before, this is an awesome series. I'm glad they remade it. The show, I love how they modernized Thundercats without completely ruining the original. Lionel, all the characters have modern. All the characters have been modernized, not in appearance but in personality too. They've went through some personality new personality traits too, and I like that, and I love the new design. I love how this show in the 80s show was awesome, but it sucked that due to the laws of the 80s, due to the child laws of the 80s, there was the Lionel, he could punch, kick, and use hand-to-hand combat, which was awesome, but he couldn't never use his sword in a brutal fashion. He could only use his sword to climb pillars, or to look into the Eye of Omens, or a sword fight, but he never severed his opponent's hand or stabbed him like in Star Wars or old knight and samurai and sword movies. That's the same with other 80s cartoons with He-Man and Thundar the Barbarian. They weren't allowed to use their swords. I think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1987 series broke the whole weapons censorship in cartoons at that time. You can say it's darker. In the episode I just watched earlier today, or tonight, whatever, or last night, whatever, earlier today, Lionel, he used his sword to cut down several villains. So like I said, he used his sword to cut down several villains. So like I said, this takes on a much darker tone, and yeah, that's my thoughts on Thundercats. Like I said, this was an awesome show. I can't wait for next Friday, and I'll give a full review when this season ends. All right, Doug out.